What's up, warriors? Another day, another music reaction. I'm finally in my new house. I'm busy settling in, I'm busy nesting. So there's been quite a bit of radio silence over the last few days for about the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I do apologize. It's been incredibly hectic. I've moved so many times in my life, but this has probably been one of the most chaotic moves ever. But I think it's probably also because I've moved to the furthest away from where I was situated. However, this was the best move ever. I'm super happy. I'm so excited. And this is going to be one hell of a journey this year. So many changes. So one of them being I'm going to have a lot more time now for content creation, for music reactions, and for throwing myself into music, all kinds of music, all the music that you guys are throwing at me. Just give it to me, okay? I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. I'm finally going to get over this thing where I don't listen and process lyrics. I tend to face my fears, so this is not a fear, but this is a weak spot that I am going to face, and I'm facing it right now. So by doing all of these reactions with you guys, today is a very special one. So Bernie is one of my VIP Patreon members, and Bernie has asked for a song that is apparently based on a true story. So the artist is MartinaMcBride, and the song's name is ConcreteAngel. So this is based on the story of her niece. It's, like Bernie mentioned, very, very dear to her. So we're going to watch the official video, the official music video. All right. I don't know if there is a live version. I didn't see one, and yeah, Bernie, you didn't provide me with one. So we're doing the official music video, but I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. So I've never heard of Martina McBride. What's it? Yeah, I haven't. So I've no clue what to expect, to be honest. But just because we don't know what to expect doesn't mean we can't enjoy it. So here we go. Let's dive in.
She walks to school with a lunch she packed. Nobody knows what she's holding back.
She's so beautiful.
Wearing the same dress she wore yesterday.
This is very 90s. It's my vibe. Well, 90s, early 2000s. Yo, she's pretty.
The teacher wonders, but she doesn't ask. It's hard to see the pain behind.
Are those bruises?
Bearing the burden of a secret storm. Sometimes she wishes she was never born. Through the wind and the rain, she stands hard as a stone in a world that she can't rise above. But her dreams give her wings, and she flies to a place where she's loved. Concrete angel.
Oh man, I've got such bad goosebumps. I swear this kid, is he not an actor? Hollywood actor? He looks so familiar.
Somebody cries in the middle of the night. The neighbors hear, but they turn out the light. A fragile soul caught in the hands of fate. When morning comes, it'll be too late. Through the wind and the rain, she stands hard as a stone in a world that she can't statue stands in a shaded place. An angel girl with an upturned
There's not even a lot of people at her grave, and she was only
Her
7 years
name
old.
is written on a polished rock, a broken heart that the world forgot. Through the wind and the rain, she stands hard as a stone in a world that she can't rise above. But her dreams give her wings, and she flies to a place where she's loved. Concrete angel.
Oh no. They're all little angels. And here you can actually, they provide you with a number. If you need help or suspect abuse, call the National I suppose it's child abuse line. I don't know if I can move this thing away. No. Oh, this is how she looks today. Okay. Let's I want to see how she looks today. I did not see that coming whatsoever. This is a tough pill to swallow. Okay, so I think by now you guys know why this is ripping me to shreds. Oh my God. So I can't stand abuse, any form of it. And yeah, so like I said, you guys probably know, for those who are new to the channel, my childhood was quite similar to this. And if it wasn't for the fact that my brother and I, as well as my mother, ran away from my biological father just before I turned 11, then we would have ended up exactly like this little kid, Angela Carter. She clearly wasn't so lucky. I'm quite curious. I mean, what happened to the parents after this, seeing as Martina wrote a song about this little kid's story? Surely she knew either what was happening, or did she find out afterwards? Was there justice? Was the parents arrested? Did they pay for what they did to Angela? Guys, if you see anything like this, if you see, and I'm not talking about giving a child a hiding. I'm not talking about not even timeouts. Timeouts, I honestly don't see that working. But that's just me. Like, we were raised very differently. We were raised, you get a hiding or a beating if you didn't behave, or, I mean, yes, there are times where the one parent beat the living crap out of us, which left us bruised and tormented and traumatized. That I don't agree with. That is abuse. But then the other parent, um, it was more of an emotional abuse, which neither of them is the correct way of doing it. But I suppose it also depends on the child, like how the child, what the child's personality is, how they process it. Because for me, for instance, when I was growing up, beatings were such humiliation that it kind of left me scarred and I felt traumatized because of it. Whereas my brother, being the male, he openly says, damn, I freaking deserved all those beatings. Well, a lot of them, not all of them. And he admits and he says, listen, I was a freaking naughty child. So yes, I deserve to be given hidings, and even his friends' parents sometimes gave them hidings because it's a bunch of boys and they're naughty and they cause cuck and they just misbehave. That's what kids do. But there's a huge difference between physically and emotionally abusing a child and leaving them scarred versus giving them a hiding to try and keep them on the right path, or at least teach them what's right and wrong. So if you ever see anyone that is surely abusing a child, whether emotionally, whether physically, whether whatever other way there is, you need to report it and you need to do something about it. You don't just turn away. You don't just pretend you don't see it because it's not your child and you don't want to cause friction. Screw the friction, because that child is going to end up being worse off than the parents, most likely, or so damaged that they will never have a normal life. Um, and they'll have broken relationships for the rest of their lives and probably end up in abusive relationships for the rest of their lives, which is pretty much what I did. My first two, even three, my first three, like my first and only three relationships in my life. Yeah, I'm 35. I've only had three relationships. All three of them were abusive to some extent. Um, and that's basically where I closed the tap and said no more. Um, Fast forward 10 years, I'm still single. I'm happy. Um, but I kind of, I told myself either I stop this shit now and refuse to ever be in an abusive relationship, or I just remain single. So yeah, here I am, singles yet again, still. Um, it's not okay. So don't turn away. Report it, do something about it. Children are precious. Children are tiny humans. They deserve to be, well, the children of today, it's debatable because honestly, some people raise their kids to be gremlins. Um, yeah, gremlins. I wonder if that's the right word. They turn into little monsters and then they turn out to be monsters when they grow up. But there are kids who are just sent from the gods and they deserve the utmost best lives, and then they don't get it because they end up with abusive parents or abusive aunts and uncles. Um, yeah, so I've digressed a lot. This one has, whew, I really didn't, I don't even know. I had no expectations for the song. I had no clue what I was in for. Um, and yeah, I'm so surprised by all the little kids. I suppose that is what kids do. Well, I suppose even adults, when we're down and out and we're at grasping at straws, and I don't know, maybe when the veil is so thin, because we've accepted that we're so close to death that we actually tend to see what is on the other side in different realms, or it could have been an imaginary friend. Although this seems more, it was all the little kids, angels, let's call them angels for the sake of the majority, I suppose. By the way, this little kid, I swear he's the kid from E.T. Phone Home. By the way, I swear this kid is the kid from E.T. Phone Home. He has the same pouting look on his face. Like, I've watched E.T. so many times, it can only be. I'm pretty sure it's that kid. But yeah, this story of Angela reminds me so much of my own childhood. This really is therapy. I mean, through this song, I can now see, even though it's well-known knowledge that there's a lot of kids that suffer, that there's a lot of evil in this world and a lot of abuse and a lot of sadness and all this shitty stuff. But the fact that Bernie, that you told me that this is based on a true story, and I know obviously they've just used different casts to make the video in order to like create a picture of the life that Angela had. But now it gives me something to resonate with. It's giving me something that is mirroring my own life now, even though I survived. There's so much that I've seen in this video that correlates with my own childhood. Um, I mean, packing the lunch boxes for one. I can't say that the only time my mother has ever packed me a lunchbox was when I was in the first grade. Anything and everything after that, it was me. I had to pack the lunch boxes for both my brother and I. I had to be the one to make sure everyone eats breakfast, has lunch. I had to cook dinner. I had to make sure the house is clean, all of that stuff. But even it takes me back to I was 9 years old and we were living on a farm. My father didn't have a job. My mother didn't have a job. Um, my father just believed he was an evangelist. So he would go around telling people about Christ and how the end of the world is near. And okay, so you guys can understand why I don't do the whole Christian thing, right? If you didn't know yet, that's probably why. Um, but yeah, so when he would disappear days on end, which was nothing new, I didn't go to school. He took me out of school for 4 years. I've told you guys this before. So being a 9-year-old, not going to school, we only had the farm, so chores, that's what I did. I ran the household. I've always ran the household. But at this specific time, my mother got sick, really sick, and she was down and out. She couldn't even get out of bed, and my father wasn't there, and there was no food in the house. So we were living across people, our neighbors, who had a chicken farm. So I went over there and I begged and I asked them for the chicken organs. I asked for the livers and the hearts and the um, gizzards, which is the stomach. And they gave me a few bags. Obviously, they used to just sell it to the farm workers. So I took that home and I cooked it for my family to make sure that we eat. I made a mean, badass bolognese. um, with the chicken organs. And look, liver is liver. Maybe it's not ox liver, which is fancy, or mutton liver, um, but liver is liver. It's full of ions, full of minerals. It's full of the good stuff. So I do believe that by feeding my mother that when she was really sick, it really helped. I mean, even as an adult, I go through stages where I desperately crave this chicken liver, especially when my iron is low, for instance. And I don't necessarily feel for something as strong as ox liver, so I'll have chicken liver. But then on the other hand, my brother is God and he cannot stand anything that looks and feels and smells like chicken organs. So it's amazing how different things and different memories can change a person's perspective, and two individuals who experience the exact same thing, but they experience it differently and their perspectives are different and how it impacted them are different. Um, for me, I've always been a healer, in the sense of I nurture, I take care, I if you're sick, I don't need medicines. I go to the herb garden and I concoct something. I make you foods that I know are rich in certain things that you would need in order to get better. And I don't know, I have a way. Maybe it's because I grew up on a farm. Maybe it's in my bloodline. I mean, my ancestors were all Vikings and Wiccans. Um, but so for me, even though it's a really shitty memory, that I had to go bake for food so I can feed my family and my very little baby brother. Um, I had there's some good connotation there, so I still feel like I accomplished something. So I grew up very quickly as a child. I had to, didn't have much of a choice. All that responsibilities, yeah, kind of didn't have a choice. Um, but it made me who I am today. And yes, I didn't get to play with dolls. I didn't get to play with friends. I didn't go to school. I had to catch up when I eventually did go back to school. Um, which again, it taught me so many lessons. I regret not skipping a few years when the principal said, listen, you're smart enough, you're doing well enough, I will skip the grades for you so that you can catch up with your age group. And I didn't, just because I grew up in such isolation as a kid that I was terrified of humans. The kids scared the living crap out of me. So it was bad enough that I had to get used to the group that I was in, let alone having to skip all of a sudden to kids that are way bigger than what I am. So obviously we didn't eat a lot of healthy food growing up. So both my brother and I are very short for our generation. Um, yeah, we're just, I mean, we were underfed to be frank. Um, so we didn't grow properly, I suppose. Um, but yeah, so anyway, this really my point after all of this yapping is doing these reactions are the therapy that I don't think any therapist can actually offer. I've seen therapists and it gets quite annoying having to go over and over and over into this shit again. But my healing happens when I see someone else go through similar stuff, because now I'm not alone anymore. It's different to just speak to someone that's sitting over there on a couch in a corner making notes the whole time, versus being able to level with someone or start having empathy for someone else who went through the exact same thing, or at least similar. Um, so this is where my healing is happening, and it's making me feel I don't even know how to say this, but it makes it easier to talk about shit. Makes it easier to go back and fetch those memories that I've locked away for so long, so that I can talk about it and process it and not feel traumatized by it, but rather it's okay. It's okay. It's in the past now. I am who I am. It happened. Shit happens. And now, once I can get through all my healing, I know I have anger issues, which is why I'm on my journey to becoming a kick-ass, brutal Viking. I just need to get over all the emotional shit first. And then when there's a zombie apocalypse, they need to run. I'll be coming for them. But yeah, this is my therapy. So thank you, Bernie, for suggesting something so precious. I don't even know if you knew how much this is going to touch me and how much this is going to mean to me and how it's healing me. But thank you. Well, this song has broken my heart. Bernie, thank you. Thank you. Just thank you. Somehow, I think, was it Bash? It was Bash and I think Willie. You guys actually warned me. You said I'm going to need tissues for this song. I think that's why I've been postponing this one for a while. Just because I try and almost keep all the sad songs for a single day, and then yeah, try and keep everything else upbeat. Because like, you need to be in the right mood for different music. So actually was not in this kind of mood today, and now I feel destroyed inside. I feel like I'm back to being a kid, and I want to go crawl up in a fetus position and just cry. um, and pay my respects to this little kid, Angela Carter. Well, okay, guys. You know what to do. If you want your requests to be prioritized, hop onto Patreon, hop onto Buy Me a Coffee, leave your request there. Either sign up for one of the memberships or you can drop some beers. Or you could just like and subscribe on the channel. Yeah, definitely go look at my Twitch as well. This was not a Twitch live stream though. This was just a recording. I'm still busy making sure that I actually have sufficient internet here on the farm. And for streaming and everything else because it's so heavy on the network. So it's going to take some time, but we are getting there. And yes, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you, and thank you, Bernie. Please keep this request coming. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
We are the brave.